Perf. All right, everybody. Wait a minute. Yeah. Looks like we got it. There we go. What's up, Sal? I see you hopping in. Thank you. That's what I'm talking about. Wait a minute. All right, everybody. Wait a minute. Yeah. I can hear me on one of these. Yeah. Which is good. We got it. Because now I know y'all can hear me. What's up, Sal? I see you hopping in. Thank you. Bam. Okay, we're going to mute that so I don't hear it, so it doesn't drive me nuts. We're going to hop on my old phone, see if I can't keep track of one of these. Alrighty. Cool. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I need y'all to be patient with your boy. Alright, this is awful weird, but I think it's very necessary. I'm trying to get used to it. I'm trying to get used to, streaming my actual stand-up. It's just a little bit nerve-wracking. So much so, I don't think I'm going to stay on with y'all for too long. Okay? But, okay, shaking it off. I meant to hop on earlier, but, okay, I got real carried away. My lady gave me a camera years ago, and she used to take it. She used to use it to take real pretty pictures, and then she let me have it, and I never use it. But today, I took like 1/3 of my day to try to. Hold on, I should start recording this. What's happening, you guys? It's Hannibal Callens. Thank you guys for hopping in here. All right, if you do, and even if you don't, it's the thought that counts. Okay, I am. Let me record the. There we go. The long ways as well. The vertical. Yeah, y'all. I know it's late. Okay, I know it's late. Y'all ain't got to remind me that it's late. Okay. Oh, what's happening? What's happening, Corey? Yeah. I'm going to be stopping periodically because I still haven't found an effective way to keep track of my chats. But we're going to figure that out one day. And with your help, with your love, your support, we're going to figure that out. Okay. Here we go. I see we got some people up in here on the talk. I got to get down here and look at my... Bam. There we go. Okay. Now, when these move, I should be able to see it. Let me like my own stream on TikTok a little bit. Okay, TikTok just said my connection is great. I find that hard to believe. But hey, the Lord works in mysterious ways, don't he? Hey! Sorry, my God is an awesome God. I'm sorry. Anyway. I'm going to hop on my Instagram right here. That way it should be easier for me to peep my own game. Hopefully it'll make it easier for me to hear when you guys are in here. Because I don't want y'all to miss. I don't want to miss y'all. Okay. Now we're going to get to it. All right, we're going to get to it. I'm sorry. It feels so awkward. So, first and foremost, y'all probably wondering, Hannibal, why are you doing this? You busting out your secrets? Not really. We're just going to work on one of my sets because right now I am in the funniest comedian in the Valley competition. All right, it's a super big competition, and I managed to win the wild card round. So now I'm competing in the big competition. I'm competing in the big homie, in the big one. What's the prize, you're probably wondering? Well, I'll tell you if you'll be patient and give me a second. Dang, all right, chill. The prize for this competition, first place is going to get, okay, stick with me now. First place is going to get, I think, a couple paid weekends at the club. I believe that's the case. You get some work, you get booked at the club. That's super cool. It's the Tempe Improv, one of the biggest clubs in Phoenix and Arizona. You also get booked on 2 shows in China, and you get $1,000. Hey, I wouldn't be mad if I got any of those. Okay. Apparently, like second and third place also get some of the booked work at the club. But look, all I'm saying is, if I can hit that wow, you know what I'm saying? And if I tell you what, if I can hit that $1,000, I'll tell you one thing. I promise, I will be switching up. I'm switching up big time, dude. Minute I hit it, man, shoot. I ain't claiming nobody. I don't know nobody. Okay, I'm gonna be swimming in white women. Hey, 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 hey. I'm sorry. Don't tell Dr. Umar I said that. I was kidding. Please don't. Please don't tell him that. Or Dietrich. That's one of the comics from here. That's an inside joke. Don't worry about that. Wu-Tang with it. Wu-Tang with it. Okay. That was another inside joke for people that don't follow me on it. That's okay. That's okay. That was a work thing. Forgive me. All right. Anyway. Okay. I'm gonna be saying okay a lot, because even though I got used to streaming, I'm still not used to doing this, so it still feels a little awkward. Also, let me know if I'm saying that too much. Oh, you're also helping me out. Okay. This is a community project we're doing right here. Okay. This is a community project because I want to make sure I'm giving you guys the best that I can. Does the camera look good? Is the lighting good? Okay. I noticed my setup a little strange. It's a little strange. Okay. But guess what? It's better than nothing. Okay. It's better than nothing. But you letting me know, if you know me personally, shoot me a message. Even if I miss you, even if I miss them, just text me if you got my number. And if not, okay, sorry. But yeah, if you know me, just shoot me a message. Miss you, bro. Long time no see. Dude, for real, man. Glad to have you here. I don't know how long it's been. I really don't know how long it's been, man. It feels like centuries, dude. But anyway, don't stress too much, because I'm about to hit it. So, why am I doing this? It's because with this is the semifinal round that's creeping up on me. Okay, that's Wednesday. That's this Wednesday. Okay, the semifinal round. For that bad boy, I'm doing 7 minutes. Okay. Now, last time I competed for this competition, I had to do 7 minutes. Was it 7? I don't know if it was 7. But I will say this, okay? I do the World Series of Comedy all the time. And the 7 minute round is where I kept getting knocked out. I kept getting knocked out at the quarterfinals for the World Series. And I finally, like for pretty much this year, I've been thinking, oh, I know what I wanted to put into my 7 minute set. Okay. I wanted my 7 minute set to have these jokes that I wrote about Juneteenth and white slavery. Because I always knew exactly what my 7 minute set was, but I kept plateauing with it how I had it. Those two jokes, they're big, they're really funny, they're big, they're creative, lots of act outs, and so I was thinking, hey, I think those jokes are really gonna do well. I think those are gonna be what's gonna help me take my 7 from plateauing at the quarterfinal round to at least getting to the semifinals. Which, long story short, was the case. When I was just in Little Rock, Arkansas, that's exactly what I did. I was in the quarterfinals. It was 7 minutes, and I redesigned my 7 minute set so that it would have those jokes in it. And sometimes for me, now, okay, there's a dude online. His name is Jerry Corley. He goes by the Joke Doctor. Absolutely love that dude. He does a bunch of videos about comedy, as you know, pretty much a comedy as a science. He's been writing. He's been doing comedy for decades and writing comedy for decades. He has a few books that I'm kind of. I don't read books, okay, which I hate. I hate that I don't read books, because the amount of information that is just sitting in a book, it's crazy. Plus, I think there is a weird thing about it where it's like the whole point, one of the whole points of human existence is for us to like distill our knowledge so that the people after us can get as far as we were in half the time, you know? So I kind of, you know, those things where it's like, oh, you give people advice, but you don't take it. That's advice I would give other people is buy his books. I just haven't yet. The first year I went to the World Series of Comedy, he was supposed to come, but he got sick with COVID. And then in 2023, was it 23? I think 2023 he came to the World Series of Comedy. I got to see him do a workshop live, which was really, really cool. But he didn't bring any books because he was like, I don't come here to sell stuff. And I was like, dang it! My ADHD, I want the book in my hands. You know, I want to buy it. If I gotta buy it online, I'm thinking too much, and when I get into the thinky, I don't get into the doey. So, but it was cool. You know, it was still cool. But I'm just saying that to say that, like, yeah, I need to study at the feet of a few more masters. You know. Anyway, oh, sorry. Here's why I said that. I said that because in one of his videos, he said something that was pretty mind-blowing to me. He said that somebody, because he'll take suggestions from videos or, you know, from like Twitter to do his videos off of. And he said somebody wrote him and said, why, something along the lines of, why does it feel like when I write my jokes, they're not as funny? And he said that it's because writing activates a different part of your brain than, like, creating does. And probably goes for people like me that are performers and in the way that I'm a performer. Oh no, I think what he said is speaking. Speaking activates a different part of your brain than writing does. And so that blew my mind because it made it perfect sense. The people that I've shared some of the deepest parts of myself with know that I not only come up with stories, but I come up with stories constantly. I'm turning people into heroes and all that stuff in my everyday life. But the minute I try to sit down and write, it's weird. I've got a few jokes that I've written, and if you guys want me to, I'll take y'all through those. There's one in particular that I used to really, really like, and I think only the people at Austin's Coffee has ever heard it, which is crazy now that I think about it, that I have a joke that I'm pretty sure I've only ever done at Austin's. That's because they'd let me up on that stage enough time that I could really work stuff. But if you guys want me to, if I get enough likes on this, I don't know, anyone on TikTok, and hold me accountable to this, because I have a hard time keeping track. I don't know how to keep track of this. But if I get enough likes on this, then I'll see about doing that. I'll actually see about breaking down that particular joke. It's about how me and my lady met. It's a long one. It's a big, long one. It's the only one that I've written. Well, not the only one, but it's one of the very few jokes that I've written. Writing jokes can be really hard for me, especially like, you know, out the mud, you know. Most of my jokes are coming from like conversations that I have or ideas that dance around in my skull meat, you know. And I got a few jokes that I actually really do want to work with other people, probably work with you guys on too, building them together. Side note, I know I'm not getting to the meat. I promise we will. I'm trying to stall, maybe let some more people get in here. If you are in here, say a little something, because the way I have my setup set up, it doesn't tell me how many people are watching. I can't see how many people are watching. So if you are in here, even if you're just stopping by, say a little something, give me a yeah or whatever. Say chopped cheese, if you're from Philly, I guess. I don't know. Excuse me. Also, let me know if you can hear me well, if I sound good, if I look good, and also if I'm like maybe off the screen, because I'm trying to keep track of my distances, but it can be hard to tell. Anyway, I am trying to activate some of the writing parts in my brain and take more control of my creativity. But that all aside, why am I doing this now? It's because this competition on July 23rd, that's this Wednesday at the Tempe Improv, I looked at the lineup of people that I'm going to be performing against, and it is not going to be easy. It is a stacked list. There's some of my favorite comedians in Arizona are on that list. And I'm like, man, I really hope they get stuck in traffic. Like, because there's some people on there that are really going to make it a slog. Like, it's going to be hard, which means I'm going to have to invest way more. Here's my thing. Went to Little Rock, Arkansas, and did my 7-minute set. It went great. I advanced. And also, I'm really proud of my 25, which is my feature set. My 25-minute set, I am incredibly confident in. And I think if I can get to a round that's 20, they're looking for your 25-minute set, I think that I can definitely make top 3. I mean, my goal for the World Series of Comedy this year is to get into the top 3. If I can get to the top 3 of the World Series, I'm taking that as the W, right? I'm taking that as my W. We did it, okay? But I'm really proud of my set, of my 25. I've seen some of the people that win the World Series of Comedy. They're monsters. They're beasts. And I don't know if I would say that I'm first place level, but that is solely because of the quality of others, not the quality of me. Like, I'm not saying, oh, geez, I don't know. I don't think I'm that good. Like, I'm not saying that. I'm saying, yo, these are monsters. Like, these are monsters in there for the top 3 World Series. So I think winning it would be tough, but I'm actually super confident that if I could get to the top 3, like, I honestly love my 25-minute set because that's what I did in Tucson, and my 25 got perfected while I was there. 4 shows in 2 days, 25, 25, 25, 25. Oh, yeah, 25 like that. Oh, man, nothing feels better. And the way laughs in Tucson, oh, the way that their crowds be. Oh, you talking pretty much sold out shows every night. Ooh, ooh, ooh. After the first night, after the first show, between the first and second show, on the Friday night in Tucson, June 13, 14, I got off stage first night. The owner of the club was asking, "Hey, you got 45 minutes, don't you?" He already talking about maybe let me headline. What? We got a message. Let's say, "You got this. Sauce on them like a pub sub." Hey, yo, pause. I agree with you, but pause. Here we go. Do push-ups for 40 roses. I don't know who you are. Noah Diego. I don't know who you are. And that seems a little pausey, if I'm not going to lie. Hold on. Hey. No, go back. Hold on. How do I get that to go away? I clicked on something on my TikTok. Oh, by the way, don't be afraid to tell me to get to work. I might need y'all to tell me, hey, Hannibal, we loving all the lore, but get to work. Okay? Because I do need to get to work. We have a mission. Okay? We have a mission today. And that is for me to... Hey, here we go. Thank you, Brianna. Brianna's World. I appreciate that. Okay, here we go. So, yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Again, let me know if it's too much lore. Somebody on TikTok was like, do 40 push-ups for 40 roses. And I'm like, whoa, bro. Hey, man, look. We here to work on comedy. And I'm not homegirl that does the yum, yum, yum. Thank you. Yum, yum, yum. Ice cream. So yummy. Yum, yum, yum. Nah. I think you can't do that. You can't do stuff like that after Juneteenth. That's stuff you do pre-Juneteenth, but after that we can't be doing diet slave stuff. That's pre-Juneteenth, okay? That's a joke I want to do. I want to come up with a list of things, and if y'all down for it, we're going to run the 7, and then we'll see how I feel. I'm probably going to do this again tomorrow because I'm not working till late tomorrow night, so I'll have time tomorrow, and I'm trying to shake the cobwebs off. Trying to shake these cobwebs off. So we'll be I'll be able to. The goal for me is to get this stuff as close to press a button as possible because I know how my brain works. Um, yeah, so I kind of got to try to make things as easy to do as possible. So we'll probably take more time to stream tomorrow. And for all my people on the East Coast, I'm going to try to do this earlier tomorrow. I ran errands. I promoted the show. I went to my old job at Whole Foods where I reapplied, but they never called me back. And there seems to have been a mix-up over there because when I went, they were like, "Hey man, I heard you're coming back." I said, "That was back in March, baby. That was back in March." Now I'm over here at Game Show Battle Rooms. They got me. Man, I'm this close to getting my first fur coat. Okay, am I gonna be? Is it making payments? Of course. All right, but still, okay. All right, we swimming in. We swimming in it. No, we not swimming in it. We not swimming in the Gouda. Also, let me know. Let me know if I'm too loud, too quiet. Okay, anyway. Let's get back on track. All right, let's get back where we supposed to be. Quick, who remembers what the whole point of this was? Anybody? What are we working on? Pop quiz. What are we working on? I told you what we were working on, right? I did say that. Did I say that? You got this. Hey, thank you. Uh-oh! What's happening, Reese? I peep. You got here just in time, because I was just... I've been yapping, trying to wait for people to get in here, because I can't see the head count. They don't let me see the head count, at least the way that I have this. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Okay, I'm looking at my Instagram on the old phone. I say I got 3 people in here. That's enough for me! Let's see. What do we got in here? 2 people watching on TikTok. 3 on Instagram. This is probably a record of how many people I've had in one time. Can't see how many people are watching on Twitch. So, although Twitch says that I'm supposed to be playing Monster Hunter, so the people on Twitch probably pissed. Like, hey! They're like, hey, this isn't Monster Hunter. What quest is this? What quest is this? Bam, okay. Here we go. So, for those of y'all that are just getting in here, I'm in a big competition on Wednesday. I am in the funniest comedian in the Valley competition. The grand prize is big. It's you get booked for a weekend of work at the Tempe Improv. I think it's more than that because apparently the club has added to the prize. But you get a few weekends of work at the club. You get $1,000 and you get booked on 2 shows in China. Okay, and look, hey, look, if I'm get booked on shows in China, hey man, hey, I'm not communist, but rent due. You know what I'm saying? Rent is due. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm playing. But I'm playing. Don't tell Umar that I said that or that thing I said earlier, which if you weren't here for that, then don't worry about it. Okay. Okay, guys. Let's stop. Reese is in here now, so we got to behave. Okay? We got to behave. Clean my glasses off. I don't want y'all going around saying, Hannibal's up there with musty glasses. Okay, here we go. So, I'm going to walk y'all through the plan here. I got my watch, which is great because now I can set, my girlfriend got me this watch. My fiance, okay? Okay, anyway. Yeah, my fiance got me the watch, but it's nice because it has, I can set a timer right here. So here's what we're going to do. Here's how we're going to do this. First, I'm going to just run my 7. I'm going to try to get as close to how it was when I was in Little Rock as possible. Or that's probably not necessary because I know what I want, okay? If you guys have seen my bits before, I recommend you come out to see me do my shows. Not only am I really good, I take a lot of pride in my work. I also feel like I owe that to the people that watch me. You know, when you're doing a comedy show, sometimes that's people's only night off and they got a babysitter for that most of the like a lot of the time. And I be thinking a lot too. People got health stuff going on that is just in here. For them to be able to go to a show and see me and get to laugh for a night, not only is that really, really cool, but they deserve for me to know what I'm doing when I get up there. You know, I used to post videos of me doing comedy, like breakdowns and stuff, like breaking down my own jokes, and I think I'm gonna try to bring those back. First, I'm gonna like repost some of the old ones, just so I'm giving y'all some more regular content. But I'm gonna try to push myself to be more consistent with those things. Don't leave if you're here, okay? We are gonna run jokes, but first, okay, like any good chef, we gotta prep. Now we're getting into the prep phase. I don't know what we're at. I don't know what we're at time wise, but now we're getting into prep phase, okay? Also, if you're here, mark this in case you see anybody doing my jokes. Y'all gonna be witnesses to the fact that they heard it here first. Okay, purr. Yes, the shorts, bring them back. Thank you, Batty Bree. Sometimes I don't realize people be watching my stuff, you know? And it sucks when you put a lot of work into something and then you don't get a lot of views on it. It just hurts. Like that my skit that I did with the whole gorilla thing, I was incredibly proud of. It didn't get a lot of views, and I was like, "What, bro?" Like, but I gotta hold myself accountable to keep moving anyway. Besides, for me, if you're doing a show, because I've had this happen a bunch of times. I had this happen days ago. I actually had this happen on the 18th because somebody booked me on a show that was supposed to be the 19th, but he gave me the wrong day. So he calling me right as I leave work. He was like, "Yo, man, where you at?" And I'm like, "What you mean where I'm at?" So I left straight from work, went there. Here's why I'm telling you that. It's because it was a bar with a bunch of people that weren't paying attention, but a table of people right here that were, and a table of people in the back that were. And to me, I owe a great show to the people that are paying attention. I kind of hate when people go, there's nobody here, unless there's nobody there. I've done that. I've done shows. Oh my gosh. Don't let me get sidetracked. Reese is here. We have to behave. But I used to go to this bar in Orlando where the only people there were the bartender and the dudes that ran the open mic. Shout out to Orlando bands. And I got so close to the owner of Orlando Bands and his assistant at the time, like, because I was coming out there when nobody else was, okay? But to me, you owe a good show to the people that are there. You owe that to them. Them making time for you, being there for you like that. You know, even if you're in a room full of people that don't care, what about the ones that do? You feel me? Like, what about the ones that do? Put on a show for the ones that do. So, here we go. Here's what we're doing. I'm going to break this down. This will make more sense if you've seen my sets before, because there's a lot of great jokes that I do that I'm going to skip. And I wish I had another whiteboard. I got a little one, but I use it for my day-to-day stuff. And I wish I had one I could put up here. So, we could work on it together. Okay? But I'll describe this to you, okay, so y'all see what I mean. Here's the way we're gonna. So, when I write my jokes, grab my book. I'm gonna show y'all how I do it. Sometimes people ask, "How do you write your jokes?" And for me, this is what it comes down to. Oh, okay, this is a great example. So if you look at this. This is my Juneteenth joke. I can't see yet if y'all can see it well. Okay, now I can see it on there. Anyway, this is my Juneteenth joke, right? And don't read too much of it because that's not the point. But you see, I have the word Juneteenth, and then I have like a bunch of bullet points after it to keep track of the joke. Eventually what happens, after I do the jokes more and more, and then I get to like know what they're going to be. Let me show you, because I should have it here somewhere. Yep. Bam. Look at that. If you look on this page, I still got, if I check my OBS, it'll show me right now. Okay, what I'm seeing. Here we go. If you check right now, you look at this, it's literally a bunch of words, and Juneteenth is just a word on here. What happens is the more that I do my jokes, they eventually, because I know the joke now, so I don't need to write all the details about it. Now I have that, what I just showed you guys, I think was my 7-minute set. Ooh, no, I think that what I showed you guys was 30 minutes. That right there is like 30 minutes. All these words, because I know what they all mean. I know all the jokes that are tied to these. So that right there is, I think, 30. But you know what's really cool? And I never saw myself to be this kind of guy. I actually can look at this, and if I had enough time, I could tell you what this was. I could tell you if this was my 5, 7, 10, or my 25. I would love to show you guys my 25, but I forgot to write it down when I performed in Tucson. I can't believe it either. I forgot to write it down in my notebooks. So you can see that space, I think, was going to be for the first night, and then that was going to be for the second, but I didn't write it down. Now think about how crazy that is. I know my material so much that I didn't write it down on here. I think I still mapped it out, like what I showed you before. I think I mapped it out on my phone, but I never ended up actually writing it in the book. House of Comedy. Yeah, so this right here, this was supposed to be 10 minutes at the House of Comedy on the 16th, but somewhere, somehow, I just kind of know. Yeah, okay, yeah. So we got Miss Quota over it on my TikTok. She says she doesn't know what timing is. She just kind of, what she say? She just kind of knows. So she said, yeah, she just kind of know. That's absolutely, yeah, that's how a lot of people do it. And Miss Quota, because you're another comedian, I will say this. This is something I thought about. We're gonna come back to this because this is a different thing, and I want to try to break this down for a whole concept of a video. But this is the bar that I think I want comedians to take this bar with them. It's supposed to be magic for them, math for us. We are supposed to understand, as comedians, we are supposed to understand the intricacies of what it takes to put together our shows and sets so that the audience gets this magical, seamless experience, right? Like, that's why there's a lot of comedians that people think don't use structure, but they do. But those comedians use structure, but they're so good at comedy that ultimately they have you fooled into thinking that they're just up there riffing. But if you really think about it, would a magician, like when you look at crowd work comics and stuff, and we're gonna get to my set, I promise. But this is kind of like a little bit of a sneak peek at a longer video I'm gonna do and post on my page. But if you think about it, what magician would want their greatest trick to be up to how the audience felt that night? What magician would want their greatest trick to actually come down to what job somebody had? No great magician would actually want it that way. I've learned some things from master crowd work comics that I think is almost equivalent of the stuff that, like, you know how magicians don't tell their secrets or other magicians beat them up? Even who's getting beat up? They're magicians, they're nerds. But it's kind of like that to me. But anyway, grab that, and if you're here, you'll get to know that I referenced that. Hey, Chase, what's happening, Chase? I ain't no shill, you know. But honestly, y'all, in my opinion, Chase Harder is one of the. He just hopped in here. Hey, I see you on Twitch too. Thank you, buddy. To me, Chase is one of the hardest working comedians, especially writing wise. That dude scare me. How he write. Jeez. And he does his material like it's written well. But it's one of them things where, again, remember what I said before, it's supposed to be math for us, but magic for them. It's supposed to be magic for the audience. As a samurai, I watch Chase work and go, oh, them are moving. And the audience is just, oh my God, ha ha ha, he's so funny, ha ha ha, he's so gay. But then you see his material, and as a samurai, I'm like, they don't even know. They watching the Iron Monkey. They don't even know. They are watching him up there. Anyway, what are we doing? Why did I show you all this? Okay. Oh no, endless quarters behind my ears. What a horrid end. Endless quarters. Could you imagine paying your rent not just with quarters, but with magician quarters? But you, not only is it quarters, but you, oh my God, imagine if the problem with that superpower is you can pull infinite number of quarters, but you can only pull one quarter behind a person's ear, and it's on a cooldown. So if you need a lot of quarters, you have to do that to different people. It's like a, let's make it like an hour seems like too long, but let's make it an hour. You pull a quarter from behind somebody's ear, you got to wait another hour before you can pull another one behind that person's ear. So if you need to pay, you need to get through the toll. You got to yank yank. Oh my God! Imagine you're at the toll booth, and you're down a quarter. So you got to get out of your car, go to one of the things where they have a person waiting, and then you got to yank, pull a quarter behind his ear, and then go over, pop it in the thing so you can leave. Oh, that's big silly. I appreciate you almost have my 20 figured out. I think just got to memorize it. That's absolutely nuts. That's absolutely nuts, dude. Dude, oh my God. Yeah, I realized that through doing laughs, there's nothing better than getting to do 2 sets a night, especially in front of great audiences, bro. That, ooh. Anyway, and I don't know when you got in here, and I don't know how far behind my streams are, Chase, but I dropped a bunch of bars. I think that for comedy, and this is why I have so much respect for writers, it's because it's supposed to be math for us, but magic for them. We're supposed to do the math, so the audience thinks we're just up there riffing, you know. But we'll get back to that because, remember, guys, and you're not reminding me, Reese is here. We have to behave. We have to behave. Okay, Reese is here. So, I wanted to show you guys that so you see what I'm doing and what I would do if this was a whiteboard. What I would do is I would list out all those words, right? And then we would cut certain words, right? We would cut certain words or move them around. So here's what I want. Here's what I want my 7 to include by chunk. I want my 7. It always starts the same. I always open my sets with these great jokes that are quick and they're about my appearance. So I know how I'm going to start my set, and that I think is typically comes out to like maybe 30 seconds to a minute, but I think it's less than that. So I want my opening to be the same. It's going to be surprise, Urkel. I'm probably this is where we start to have to make cuts, because I want to do my unemployed joke. That one's fast and really good. I got a joke about glasses, which is pretty good. It's really good. It's but it is sometimes does not hit. This is where the math comes in, because I got to figure out why. I think it's because me doing a joke about disabilities is weird and can make people uncomfortable. But I found that ending on a big act out really helps that. Because my last joke on that one, I go like, no one should be giving advice like, hey man, you get more girls if you would just ditch the wheelchair. And sometimes, I think if the audience is a little bit tight and nervous, sometimes they might not be a little loose enough for that to hit the way that it could or should. But when I go, at the end of that typically I've seen that big act out gets them laughing. And I think because it makes it very clear what I'm saying. Like, that's ridiculous. What? That's crazy advice to give somebody. Anyway, here's what we're going to do. We're going to break what I want the set to look like down into chunks. Then I'm going to run it so we can see what it actually comes out to. Because here's what I want. I want my love life stuff. Well, I want my single stuff, my jokes about being single. Then I go into stuff about my hair. This is where the magic is going to have to happen. I want my hair to include my Juneteenth and white slavery jokes. The thing about those jokes is that they're really good, but they're very long. And so in a 7, it takes a lot of cutting to fit them in. Like, I didn't even realize it. When I did Little Rock, Arkansas, this is pretty much what I had it set up as. My single jokes, my hair jokes with my Juneteenth and white slavery added in. Then it was going to go to what I normally end on, which are my jokes about love songs. But when I got up there, it ended up only being, I could only fit in my single stuff. I had to end on my hair stuff. Because I got some great jokes about my hair. The only problem with those is that they're jokes about my afro, which means I have to have the afro for them to work. Which is actually why my hair is out all the time. Because I got so many shows, it doesn't make sense to twist it and then untwist it because I got a big show. And, but that's bad for my hair. That's also, there's a lot of problems with that. White slavery joke, you've been working on new material? Oh, I've been working on really good new material. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here, Merrick's, because you're going to like those. I am going to run those at least. Because to me, I think those are the ones that are going to take my set from stopping at the semifinals to getting to the next round. Because those are good. Those are really good. And I know I'm building them up a lot. Also remember, okay, if you haven't seen me on stage before, if this is your first time seeing me do stuff, keep in mind that comedy is weird when you don't have laughs with it. So sometimes jokes just feel weird. When you don't got laughs, it's cringe. Another thing I want to do a video on is how that's important or necessary. Kind of like how you go to the gym, all those exercises are silly when you think about them. All those exercises people do are silly. But there's a big, deep importance to them. Different video. So here's what I want this 7 to include. My love life stuff, specifically my jokes about being single. Those typically end on my ex, or they end on my Baghdad joke, excuse me, which I really like, but we got to make cuts, and I'm probably going to cut that. Then we go into my hair, which is going to have my Juneteenth and white slavery joke, and then I want it to end on my love song lyrics. Okay, that's how I want that set to look. We probably won't be able to fit all that. Off the top of my head, if all that's executed properly, that should be somewhere between 10 and 15 minutes. Probably on the high 10. My problem is that I almost always go over, which is why I think I didn't advance in the Funniest Comic in the Valley when I performed it, when I competed months and months ago, but they didn't tell me. And I'm spoiled by the World Series of Comedy because they run a very tight ship. You do the World Series of Comedy, and then you go do other competitions, and you go, oh, okay. There's some there's some of the flagrants, some of the smoothie that you can tell the World Series they've been doing it for 15 years. But remember, this is why I wish I had a whiteboard so we could write that stuff down, but don't worry about it. Just remember that, because now what I'm going to do, I'm going to run it. I'm probably going to cut a few things. I'm going to give you all a heads up right now. Here are the jokes I'm thinking I'm going to cut to fit the Juneteenth and white slavery, and to get to my closers, which is the love song lyrics, because if you've seen those, you know those are also massive big hitters, and those are ones that almost never flop. The white slavery and Juneteenth, they can be weird because they can be a little heavy if the audience isn't loose. If they're not loose enough for it, then they can shut down on the fact that it's race related and not listen to the joke and realize that the jokes are funny. If you're not going to just shut yourself down to them. But that ending stuff, I'll be real with you. That set that I just described, if I can pop that off, to beat that, you're going to have to be Glendon. Like, you're going to have to be Glendon to beat that. What I just described to y'all, if I hit those bullet points, you're going to have to be Glendon. Glendon, in my opinion, one of the best comedians in Phoenix, especially the ones that I've met. What did Chase say? Chase said something. Flagrants. I thought we deported those. Hey, okay, don't hop on mine. Don't hop on my stream and be funnier than me. Okay, don't do that. Chat, can we block him? Best platform to chat on. Oh, thank you for asking, Merrick. The best one would be Instagram. If you follow me there, that's the one that I watch the most. Glendon is one of the greatest comedians, period. And he a brother? That man don't miss. No, actually, no. I'm not kidding. I love brothers. I love the brothers and the sisters. That's right. One thing y'all need to know about me? Okay. No, everybody who knows me knows that. I'm actually silly. I make it very clear. I'm just looking at that like flagrants. I thought we deported those. Don't hop on my stream being funnier than me, man. Okay. Back to what I said though. That set that I described to you guys, if I can pop that off, that's gonna be. They're gonna be like, that man came up there and ate. But I don't think I can fit it all. And this is what sucks. Because when you distill your set down like that, it's all A. So I'm gonna be cutting a lot of A to make room for the A+. If you want to get to this point, the best advice I can give you, I did a couple videos on this years ago, but it's like, first, if you do 5-minute sets, you write your 5. Then you do a night where you only do 4 minutes. Now you got to take your 5, you got to cut it to a 4. Then you do a night where you're doing 3 minutes. Now that really shows you, out of your 5 minutes, it makes it easier for you to break stuff into A, B, and C. And then you go, okay, well, we're getting rid of all the C. If I only got 4 minutes, we're getting rid of all the C. There's no question. I have jokes that I did for years that I haven't done since I did a 3-minute set because I realized, these suck. They were C or they were D level when I break it down and look at my material like that. I got jokes I did for years that I haven't even thought of since 2021 because I went to an open mic where you only got to do 3 minutes and I realized if I only had 3 minutes, I would cut these no problem. What did Chase say? You be straight up biased about it. I'd be straight up biased about what? Negroes? Absolutely. Oh, thank you, Miss Quote. I just saw she said that I'm one of the greats as well. I really appreciate that. I wish you would have said that over here on Instagram where everybody really at. I'm not big on using Instagram. Just give me a call once in a while. Miss you, bro. Hey, you already know it. Absolutely. Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. Well, you got to support black comics after Juneteenth. Oh, Josh, I just realized. I have been meaning to call you just to check up on you. That's on my to-do list. And it's been on my to-do list for a couple of days. So I am going to call you soon. Anyway, come on. Guys, Reese. Reese is here. Reese is in the building. Okay. All right. Chase, you had absolutely no business saying that. You know what you did. You have absolutely no business saying that. Oh my God, dude. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. Let's look. Oh, I have 5 people on Instagram. Let's take a quick moment to check, see how many we got. Okay. On TikTok, I have 1. We lost somebody. We yapped too much. That's on me. That's my bad. Shame on me. I knew better than that. Twitch won't let me see how many people are watching. On Instagram, my phone tells me we got 5. And can I see on YouTube how many we got? YouTube does not appear to tell me. Oh, it says I got 3 people watching. Okay, one of those is me. One of those is probably Brianna World and Merrick's. Okay. He got moved up. Oh, probably because he's doing so many chats. I think he took my advice. Oh my God, Chase, you are killing me. You are killing me. You got no minutes. You got 3 on Twitch. What? Thank you. Okay. Thank you for that, Chase. Here we go. Now, guys, remind me, Reese is here. We got to behave. So now the goal is I'm going to run through that 7 as well as I can. And just because I'm trying to think out loud so you guys can be a part of it, here's what I think we're going to have to do. We're going to have to cut the glasses joke. It's great, but because it is less consistent than the other ones, so we got to cut that. My hair jokes, I don't like this because I think I need. Okay, let me just think out loud here. Normally, when I do my hair jokes, I do this joke about a dude seeing me at the grocery store. That one always gets cut because it's a little. That one isn't very consistent, but I think that that's another one where if I ham it up, if I act it up, it really, really helps. But that's one that's sometimes not that consistent, which makes it funny because recently it's been hitting every time I do it, but it used to be very hit or miss. But we got to make room for the A+, and what? Who remembers? What jokes are we trying to build this set like around? That's right, Juneteenth and white slavery. Because to me, those are big, those are creative, and those also express a little bit about me. So I think that's stuff that goes, whoa! That I actually think those will do really well on a don't tell. I think though, like, I feel like that, you know, those like don't tells where it's like really well recorded, I feel like that would do numbers if I can do those. But when we get to the hair stuff, here's what I'm thinking we're going to have to cut. We're probably going to have to cut the whole second half of my hair jokes. Jokes about my afro. I have a joke where I say I don't match the description. That has to be there because that's such a great punchline. But then all the jokes that follow it, okay, I don't match the description. Oh! Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do that line. I'm going to do the Juneteenth joke. Then I'm going to do my walk into that punchline, which does need to be cut. I say a lot of yapping to get to that punchline, and that's where we'll save a lot of time. But I'm going to do the description, and here's what we're probably going to do. We're probably going to jump straight from the description line straight to my last 2 jokes for that, which you guys are going to see. It's this isn't a dangerous Negro. That's the last joke, or that's the leading into the last part of that. We're probably going to cut most of those hair jokes. And now that I think about it, the ones I'm going to cut, they're really good. But I think in the grand scheme of things, they're not A+. Those last ones, A+. So I think this is really smart. I think this is a really good formula we're building. The goal is to see if that leaves me enough time for my peanut joke and my grab somebody joke. That's a lot though, because those 2, my last joke, my closer, clocks in at 1 minute. So that's a whole minute out of the 7. Is any of it wasted? No. It's superb. And it's a great ending to a solid set. But here's another thing we have to keep in mind. One of the things people forget about doing a set like that is that it actually matters a lot to not feel like you're rushing. To be able to just do the material is big. I did that at the World Series of Comedy in Vegas in February or March. And one of the dudes in there was like, you know, that's pretty much what his set felt like. He's just doing the jokes, and it was incredible. It didn't feel like he was confined to 7 minutes, and that's really important. That's why, honestly, we probably need to shoot for 6 minutes, because if you can get to 6 minutes and 30 seconds, that's great. You know, it also gives you time for the laughs. and it gives you time for being able to relax. That's what's going to be hard, especially because running it this way, you can't get just do a rough run right now. You're absolutely right, Chase. You're absolutely right. And you're correct. Reese is here. Is he here? Nope, we lost somebody. Somebody check if that's Reese. If he left, we're in big trouble. Anyway. Okay, so we're going to do a rough run. You're right, Chase. We're going to do a rough run. And again, now I'm saying it for me. Wait a minute, what the hell? Okay. Sorry, my phone said the live had ended. Okay, you're right. So we're going to do a rough run. What are we doing for that rough run? Who remembers? That's right. We're going to do single life. We're going to do hair. We're going to do one joke. Excuse me. We're going to do one joke before we go into Juneteenth and white slavery. We're going to jump right to, we're going to do description and then jump right to disco. That's the punchline to that, what I mentioned earlier. We're going to go straight to disco. And see, the reason I use that word is because that's how I write that joke in the notebook. Disco, I know what that means. So we're going to do weed. This is how it would look if it was word. No, we're not going to do all that. I'm spending too much time. We're going to do weed. We're going to do Juneteenth. We're going to do white slavery, description, and disco. Then we're going to see what I have time for. If I have time for it, I can do the peanut joke. Well, that's actually grenade. I can do grenade, and the goal is to get to grab somebody. The problem at this point is that so much of this is so good that now you got to be careful about what you cut out. If we start cutting stuff out here, that's when it starts to be a thing where I should have kept this and cut that, kept this and cut that. But that's it. That's the main thingy. We're setting the timer for 7 minutes. Okay, Reese is back. Okay, good. Reese is back. You got here just in time, Reese. Here we go. Okay. You know what I would actually normally do? And I just not thought about this. This is something that Joe always says. You should be performing with a microphone and a mic stand. And I have one downstairs. Someone remind me tomorrow. I'm not going to waste that time to go get it. But tomorrow I need to bring the mic stand up here and practice in front of that. Because, dude, that matters so much. If you fumble getting the mic out, hang it up. I was mad when I did the wild card round because the girl before me put the mic in a weird place. So when I got it, she put it behind me, I think. So when I went up there, I had to turn backward to go grab the mic and then try to turn like this way with it. And I think what I did, which was gangster, I took the mic and did my first joke on it. Then when I got that laugh, I took it off. That way it would stop me from fumbling with it before I got my joke off. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that was Chase. I think Chase, I think you're the first person who I had heard that from, doing your first joke with the mic in the stand, then taking it out. Anyway, come on. Here comes that rough run. Reese is back. Reese is back. And then Pure Jessness just got in here too. Okay, perfect. Okay, here we go. My water bottle in the car. We're going to do this run, and then I might grab water, but we'll see how we're feeling. Oh, get ready to set the timer. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Ugh. Sorry, this watch, you have to click yes 45 times. I got to show y'all. It's ridiculous. All the numbers they make you press yes before it'll start. Okay, here we go. 3. What'd you say, Chase? I do that sometimes, yeah. 3, 2, 1. Hey, what's happening, everybody? My name is Hannibal Callens. I just turned 30, and right now I am in love. Thank you, thank you. I'm surprised too. Because who's falling in love with Steve Urkel after he joins the Black Panther Party? I'm the only brother between did I do that and the white man did that.
Oh man, I am glad I'm in a relationship. Me and my lady been together for 6 years, and it taught me something. Being in a relationship is just like buying a house. If you didn't do it in 2008, it's too late. Because you can't even get good advice no more. I had a dude tell me, yo, Hannibal, don't ever date a woman that makes more money than you do. Like, craziest thing I ever heard from somebody on food stamps. I couldn't believe it. Yeah. We'll tell you too, sometimes people break up with you, but you end up growing from it. Right? Has that happened to you guys, man? Yeah, I learned that lesson the hard way because my ex broke up with me, and she said it's because I'm the type of man you get married to. Y'all ever been fired from your job because you were good at it? Like, I've never met someone that said, hey, yo, McDonald's had to fire me. I had the ice cream machine working every day. Man, tell you what, though, it turns out the secret to finding love was right under my nose. Because before you love anyone else, you gotta love who? Yourself. That's right, man. I started my self-love journey by growing out my hair. Immediately realized people forgot how to talk to me. I had my hair out just like this for 1 week. I had a dude go, hey man, hey bro, where's the weed at, bro? I was like, dude, leave me alone. This is church. And I don't know what you're doing down here, pastor. Get back on stage. And tell you what, though, when you have a distinct look, people assume that they're going to have certain conversations. Like, just because my look screams young Frederick Douglass. This one woman told me, I don't know why we have to celebrate Juneteenth now for some reason. That's crazy. Juneteenth celebrates the end of chattel slavery. If any country should be celebrating it, it's the freest country in the world. I mean, we've had Toyotathon since 1976. And in fact, if you ask me, I think Juneteenth is the only holiday with a good reason. Right? We have a holiday about a rabbit laying chocolate eggs. We have a holiday about a magical man who busts in your house and leaves you presents he had made with immigrant labor. Mardi Gras is just titties, that entire holiday. Like, if MTV made a holiday, that's it. Tell you what, though, I think people get uncomfortable with stuff like that because they think if black people gain power, we will enslave everyone else. But I will tell you right now, that is not true. At least the other black people haven't told me that yet. But the truth is, that's not going to happen, right? Because slavery is wrong. It doesn't matter who's doing it, and it doesn't matter who they're doing it to. Also, if we enslaved white people, it wouldn't be as good. I mean, the amount of sunscreen alone, you're losing your profits right there. I mean, dude, let's be honest, with climate change, you couldn't have anybody working out in the fields. You'd have to have them all in the house day trading. Buy, boy. Sell, boy. Pick my NFTs, Tanner. Like, I think the worst part, honestly, would be the music, right? Because my ancestors made songs like Wading in the Water. I couldn't imagine working to Wake Me Up Before You Go, don't leave me hanging on like a yo-yo, wake me up. Yeah. Tell you what, though, being in a relationship has changed my life, man. Because I realized I don't even like love songs anymore, dude. Like, the lyrics are ridiculous. Bruno Mars has a song where he says, I'll catch a grenade for you. Huh? Like, I don't know if y'all noticed, but I'm not the strongest person here. Like, I'm the only man I know too afraid to walk himself to the car at night. Like, if you see me walking anywhere past 6:45, you need to know I carry a pocket full of peanuts. Because if somebody is going to try to rob me, I pray to God he has an allergy. Hey, give me all your money. What? Checkmate, baby. Hey, checkmate. Catch a grenade for you. Really? Right, like if me and my girl go to the park and someone throws a grenade at us. On the off chance that on that day I think I'm Serena Williams and I hit it back. Somebody with the audacity to bring one grenade to the park probably has the audacity to bring two. So if I have to catch a grenade for either of us, we're both dead. I think the worst example of all time, Pitbull has a song where the chorus goes, grab somebody sexy, tell them, hey, give me everything tonight. For all we know, we might not get tomorrow. Let's do this tonight. Right? I heard that song and I was like, hey, Pitbull, if I follow your instructions, you just told me to grab somebody sexy and tell them, hey, give me everything tonight. For all we know, we ain't gonna get tomorrow. So let's do this tonight. Y'all, that sounds like assault to me. And I've never flirted with someone new and felt like I should grab my peanuts. Ah! Thank you. Bam. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Reese. I appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. I have some notes. Who can tell me what went wrong in there? It worked out and it was pretty good. I very much liked what we got. And it might change some things in the future. But who can tell me what went wrong in there? Because I know what it is. I know what it was. Let's see. Oh, who joined? Take this moment. I'm going to let y'all think. Remember all the planning we did. See if you guys can figure out what got missed. Like my own live for a second. Okay. Here we go. If you said, oh, now my Instagram done froze. You are correct. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see what we got. I don't recall the hair stuff, low key. Exactly. Both of you have it exactly right. Number one, it was pretty fast. But that's because it's a little bit weird. When you're performing and you don't have an audience, it's hard to gauge the laughter. So I tried to go slow on a few things. There was some weird pauses, but that was to try and add some laughter to the timing. But that brings up a good point that I want you guys to remind me to come back to. But Chase hit it right on the head. I didn't do the hair stuff. I have a bunch of jokes that I was supposed to do after the Juneteenth stuff. I was supposed to do Juneteenth, do those jokes, and then go back to talking about my hair. And those are also big hitters, but I didn't get to them. Here's the reason why I didn't. Well, first of all, I wanted to do a rough run, period. Reese is here. I didn't want to keep going back, right? But I did kind of think, oh, this timing-wise, this is going to end up either working or still being too big. And to be fair, I set that timer for 7 minutes. My suspicion is that I would be allowed to go to 7:05. Okay, because I think what they said at the wild card was if you go past 3 minutes, you get demoted a point. If you go past 3:30, you're disqualified. Although, again, World Series has a very good system. I won't describe it to you guys unless you really, really want to. If Reese wants me to, I'll describe it. But so now I gotta we're gonna have to rebuild this. but you still ran out of time, so you have to cut other things. You are correct. I did run out of time. Let's see, what'd you say, Dream? Yeah, the hair stuff. Exactly. So I still, because here's the other thing that I just thought. I thought about this right as I started. I need to be running this set and aiming for 6 minutes because I have to calculate for laugh time. And now I think this is probably the way I should write sets in the future for competitions. Write it so it is a solid, this competition you have to have 7 minutes, right? That means I need to write 6 minutes of solid material. Joke for joke for joke for joke for joke. That should equal 6 minutes. Because then I will have 30 seconds of laughs. You know, I'll have 30-ish seconds of window for laughs when I get there. This is where it gets a little scary because maybe I should write 5 minutes and 40, no. Maybe 5 minutes and 45 seconds of material so that number one, there's room for laughs in the calculation, and number two, so it doesn't have to be done so fast. If I'm writing 6 minutes of material and those people are laughing, I then have to bulldoze through jokes. This is where it gets scary because you don't know how much laughter you're going to get, and this is where the swag comes in. Because that you can't really predict. I'm going to have to play it by ear on game day, which is what I did for the wild card round. When I did this for the wild card, I actually said I wasn't going to do my glasses joke. And then when I got on stage, I felt it and I said, this is going short. I have to throw the glasses joke in there. I threw in my glasses joke, did my other stuff, and it worked out. Well, actually, I'm pretty sure it worked out perfectly because I saw the light right where I expected to, and I didn't get disqualified. I advanced. So mathematically, that probably went and worked out. Excuse me. I also didn't even record that set. I tried to, but by the time I went up, I forgot to hit the button. Somebody recorded something for me, though, but I think that was at the show I did with the Unteachables. Anyway, Wu-Tang with, what do we got? Think 5 is a good goal. Just some time to process and sink home for the slow folks. You're absolutely right. I do get a little bit worried, though. 5 is anticipating too much laughter. But to be fair, that is where that swag comes in. A whole 2 minutes short seems a little too risky, but if I'm killing, I'll have to apply swag. So you're right. I think the goal should be to write, but 5 minutes out of that is really hard because the Juneteenth jokes, and I haven't timed that, especially when it was executed perfectly. Plus, now I do them different. I used to not have a good segue into them, but then I realized, I can tie that in to being related to my hair. I can tie it into the way that I look and say people have these conversations because I look this way. That I realized was a really good give a minute warning so you know. Oh, and here's the other thing too. They typically give you a 1 minute warning. But again, for the World Series, and I will always gas them up, they have a very, very tight system. For them, when you get to a minute, the light turns on and it stays solid. When you have 15 seconds left, it blinks. When that light goes off, your time is up. So if it was a World Series of comedy set, or if they did the light that way, I would know 1 minute left. And the goal for me, that last joke I did to grab somebody, if that joke starts right at that light, that is chef's kiss. That is some Death Note light Yagami. Like, and that happened to me when I was in New Orleans. This was the first time that happened, because I think was one of my first times doing the 7 minute, and I had planned the whole set out, but I was coming up on that joke and hadn't seen the light. So I freestyled out a joke, which is now one of my closers, because I actually wrote it down. One of the only few jokes where I like wrote. It's that joke some of you guys have heard. It's the joke that I do about, and I think it was the whole bit. I think I did all of this, but it was the joke about my girl being from Africa and she can tell when people are African. That one. I freestyled that joke out based off what I had in mind of it, and right as I hit that punchline, I saw the light, and then I went, oh, we're going right into grab somebody. And it was crazy because that was the first time. Let me check. Okay, it says some people have joined over here. Perfect. Look, we got some people who joined and then left and then joined back. If I'm winning y'all over, thank you for hanging with your boy. Let me throw me some likes. If you guys are liking it too, please tell me, because I can't see. And I think I've given me all my likes. I don't know if that makes me a loser or whatnot. But also, by the way, you should have them all timed so you have some time to work with. That's absolutely right. And I actually know some comedians that do that. All their jokes are timed down to the second, and so they have a spreadsheet. And so if they have to do a 7 minute, they can literally piece it together bit by bit. I'm a little too organic for that, but I don't think that is a bonus. I know a lot of comedians who go, I don't write my stuff. And I'm like, then you're literally leaving potential strength on the floor. Like, you're literally leaving, you're leaving a lot there that would only make you stronger. But I think art, specifically comedy, is difficult because there's this idea that the less you work on it, the more authentic it is. And I think that's actually a very dangerous misconception. It's something that a lot of comics have to get over. Because even on the flip side, there's a lot of people that seem like, and I know this for me, almost feel worried that by writing, you are damaging the authenticity of it. But as I get better at this craft, I think that really what it is, that's just a misconception. It's a misconception that comes from what I said earlier, which is that writing activates a different part of your brain than talking does. And we think that authenticity comes from things just being random explosions, rather than seeing authenticity as deliberately dug out of yourself and deliberately developed to convey. So, hold on. Y'all got to tell me if I'm not in frame too, because I realized that most of that I said, I was pretty, okay, I'm looking at me on my thing. One of these days I'm going to, hold on, here we go. So agreed. You have to write, but there are very few working comedians that write on stage. And you're absolutely right. Let me also throw this in there too. Miss Quota said that. She said, you're absolutely right. And there's very few working comedians who write on stage. And I will actually tell you this. Hot take. Most of those comedians who you think are writing on stage aren't. They're just performing so well that you think they're writing on stage. And hotter take, no comedian is better because they write on stage. And if you think that, you're mixed up. You don't realize it. Like, I'll tell this story to you guys, and then if Reese is still here, we're going to run that again. Reese, if you're still here, we're going to run it again. I think we're going to try to aim for 5 minutes, 30 seconds, or 6 minutes. But we're going to go joke for joke, bar for bar. I'm going to try not to pause. I'm going to try not to, wait for laughter that isn't there. Because y'all probably saw it at the beginning. I'm, throwing in a lot of the riz on it because that's part of it. It's very important. But I think for this, it's going to be important to just go joke for joke, bar for bar. Do them. I can't just say them blah, 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 blah. But, because you got to act them. But I think I should do my absolute best to just go joke for joke, bar for bar. Anyway, dang it. Lost my train of thought. What was I thinking? Miss Quota. Oh, so Miss Quota said that there are very few comedians who write on stage, and I believe any comedian who is not writing off stage is only hurting themselves. There's no bodybuilder who is weaker because he doesn't uh, work out when he's not at the gym. Now, working out is different because you can overwork your muscles. So what I'll say in that example is that he's not eating right. Like, there's no bodybuilder who's better because he's working less. There's no comedian who is better at their craft because they work less. Even the comedians that are like all riz, and there's a bunch of them that are like that, they would benefit from writing material, even though it doesn't feel like it, because writing material is asking you to do math, not magic. I promise, if you master how to do that math, then you're in control of the magic. That's why Chase is not only one of my favorite comedians, but makes me feel some type of way. Because I look at the way that he writes and the way that he does his material, and I go, that motherfucker is in that, excuse my French, but I'm like, that man is in there. He's in the lab. And then taking that stuff to the stage. You know what I mean? For me, most of my material is like riz based, and then technique is applied on top of it. Also, I've developed so much technique through doing this for so many years that even the stuff that I riz out is based in technique. You know, like that Juneteenth joke was relatively rizzed, but it was talked about. I talked to some people about how I wanted to write that joke, how I wanted to write a joke about that, and then eventually pieced it together, but I didn't lab it. Like, that's not one that was really in the test tubes. And one of these days I'll share with you guys the jokes that I've done that are test tube, meaning that like they were, and I worked on them rather than it sort of being something that was like naturally riffed out. And I shouldn't use the word naturally because it misconveys it. It makes it seem like the test tube jokes are less authentic, which is not the case. In fact, the test tube jokes have had more put into them. Hot take. I know great comedians. Okay, I don't know if anyone from Orlando is here, but one of my best friends in comedy, Genesis, I think he said he never wrote material. That man was a master. That man was a monster. Almost 30 years? I think he had done comedy for 20. I remember talking to him and he said he did it for 25. And that was almost as long as I had been alive. He passed away in 2024. So he had done comedy for over 20 years, right, before he had passed away. I guarantee if he would apply math, if he would have applied math, he'd be, even if you wouldn't be like better, you'd be able to be more consistent. And this is absolutely no jab at him, because another dude that I really like from Orlando who moved to Austin and I think is doing well, Quells, King Kells. That's what King Kells. He's so funny. He's one of those comedians who's very, very funny. He's got a very riz-based swag to his performance, right? I think it makes me think of like DC Young Fly and those type of dudes, the style of comedy he does. And I remember him saying, I don't write my jokes. And I don't remember if I said it to him, but I remember thinking it. It said, dude, I promise you're only hurting yourself. If you learn to apply the math, and I didn't have these words at the time, so I'm saying them to you guys. If you develop how to apply the math, you'll be able to produce more magic and better magic. We think, I know I already said this, right? But for people who maybe just jumped in, we think that by letting our art be less structured, it's more organic, but that's not really the case, right? And so we all have to develop. We have to reframe how we see writing jokes. You know, we have to reframe the way that we feel about jokes that are rizzed out and jokes that are test tube. And those are terms I'm coming up with now that I really like. Jokes that are rizzed out and test tube. And again, test tube just means you like really, you actually sat down and wrote it. Even if you did it with other people, it's a joke that you pieced together, like all the way through technique rather than it just being Riz. And again, I'm just saying it one more time because I'm trying to say it to myself. Every comedian is better with technique applied. Nobody's gonna lose the magic if they apply technique, unless they have to learn how to what's the word I'm looking for? They have to learn how to smooth the transition from technique to Riz material. What do we got here? We got some people saying some stuff. If jokes didn't have an evolutionary phase, we'd still be stuck on your mama's something just get better Frankenstein. And not everyone can deliver it the way you could either. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Because I know some comedians who have great written material, but they struggle to execute them. And that's because they're too technique. They're too technique and not enough Riz. Right? You gotta apply, you gotta apply some swag. You gotta sprinkle some swag on there. Because why? We said it earlier. It's supposed to be magic for them, math for you. So the goal is to have your material be equations. But the way that you perform these equations is so smooth that the audience thinks you're not using structure. They think you're not using structure, right? That's the goal. It's an illusion. I say this a lot. Comedy is a lot like ballet. It's all about making something incredibly hard look effortless. That's why everyone thinks they can do comedy and people think ballet is gay, because they have no idea how difficult that thing actually is. But that's the whole point. This is another thing I'll say, and I'm saying this now because maybe I'll cut this up and actually post it later when I get this footage back. And because I remember I saw that years ago. They were saying stream your stuff and then edit it down into clips for videos. I might try to do that with this one. It's just so much garbage. Not garbage, but it's just so much but yapping. But I'm just saying this point because of that, if I didn't lose it. Oh, okay, no. I'll tell this story. Years ago, I was probably 7 years into comedy at this point. I'm in deep. That's the point. Also, background lore. I consider myself and comedians who are technique, or who are passionate about technique and who take the craft seriously, I call us samurai. Me and Nick Hartley used to laugh about that because we'd be like, you see somebody doing it and they're doing it well. And I remember when he came to the World Series in 2024, we did that. Somebody was on stage and they were killing, and you could tell they were great. And I looked at him, we just went, because that's a samurai. That's important. That's going to become important for this story. Anyway, I went to this open mic. I didn't realize it. Okay. Don't remember what year this is, but there's probably pictures of it or some evidence I can figure it out. Anyway, I go to this open mic in Altamont Springs. A comedian in Orlando, Minnie. It was Minnie. He has this open mic going on. I go, right? Because I'm going to go give me some stage time. I pull up to it, and when I get there, people are doing time, whatever. Then this homeless man gets up there. Homeless dude is killing. He's incredibly funny. Everybody in the room, we're all dying. It was so much fun. About halfway through this homeless man's set, I realized something. He was using technique, and this is what the dude did. He was going on for like 5-7 minutes, and then he'd go, one more thing before I get started. Whole room die. You just went on for 7 minutes, and now you said you're about to get started. He then goes on for another 10 minutes. One more thing before I get started. We all die again. Then he did it a third time. He goes, one more thing before I get started. And that moment it hit me. I said, oh my God, this isn't a homeless man. This is a headliner. Oh my goodness, this is a samurai. What made that so mind-blowing to me was that I was already doing stand-up comedy for 7 years at that point. How organically do you have to do your material that I, another samurai, could not immediately tell that I was looking at the Iron Monkey? It's like those kung fu movies, right? Where the dudes come up into the tea shop, some guys on the other side of the bar start trying to mess with the waiter, and then the waiter is like, oh man, oh guys, please don't beat me up, and he ends up beating them all up on some on some Jackie Chan fumble, bam, on some fumble food. I'm not talking drunken fist, I'm talking like fumble food. And then later, you think about it and you go, oh my God, that dude was a kung fu master, making it look like he was trying not to spill the tea. And I love telling that story because that's exactly what you want to go for. You want to do your material so well that people can't immediately tell you're a samurai. Granted, that dude had dreads that were a mess, okay? But, and I'll say it too because he's a comedian that's very important to me, John Mann. He was a dude from Orlando, but I think now he's moving to Vegas. I went out, when I went to the World Series of Comedy, this is when I went to the World Series to compete this year. I went to the World Series. I'm hanging out with my cousin, with David Hewlett, because that's my cousin's boyfriend, and he does comedy out there. I'm hanging out with David. We go to an open mic. I step outside John Mann. John Mann's hilarious to me because that keeps happening. I went to New Orleans in 2023. I went to New Orleans for the World Series of Comedy. I'm sitting outside of a place where I got beignets. I'm just sitting there eating. I turn and see a homeless dude walking down the street, and I went, John Mann? Turned out to be one of my favorite comics from Orlando. That's a dude that's also kind of somewhat mentor to me, so I appreciate that dude a lot. But anyway, going back to it, the math versus magic, it was a perfect example of that. This dude was so good that even me, who knows what I'm doing, couldn't immediately tell I was looking at a samurai. But you only really achieve that not through being like this. You achieve that through being so good at the sword that you can make it appear like you don't, like you're just riffing. But really, it isn't foiling the blade. It is deliberately swinging in the movements. This stuff comes from the hips, right? So anyway, yeah, that's that. Thanks for letting me riff about that. Ayo, I didn't bring enough dollar bills. All right, let's see who we got here. Okay. We got 2 people over here on TikTok. I don't know who's in here, but thank you for being here. Oh, it's my boo. Excuse me. Okay, my lady's watching my watching my TikTok. So now I gotta do something. How many people do I have on Instagram? 3. Okay, we got 3 people on Instagram. If you're here, say a little something so I know who's watching. No pressure. Okay, so it's getting late and I'm getting sweaty. Tomorrow, I think we're gonna run this again. Tomorrow I think we'll run this again. I'll try to actually have my microphone up here so we can get the actual vibe of holding it, getting it out of the stand and stuff, which sounds a little, you would think you wouldn't need that, but Joe Lowers made a really good point. He said, what guitar player do you know that doesn't have a guitar? What bass player do you know that doesn't have a bass guitar? As comedians, that microphone is our instrument, and we should have one. What time is a great question. Earlier than this, because my work schedule dropped, and they don't have us coming in until 6. They're doing a meeting or something. So I ain't got to work until 6 o'clock. So I'm gonna stream earlier tomorrow. I might try to go get a haircut. I should. I should try to go get a haircut tomorrow. Just get my beard fixed up. But I want to get my hair done before I go visit my girl this week. That's like the thing I'm thinking about. That's the thing I'm like worried about. And I actually should have washed my hair tonight. Okay, everybody who's in here, tell me, do y'all want to run it one more time? Or do y'all want to call it a night? Because I want to run it one more time, but I feel like I should call it a night. But I got people in here, which I really very much appreciate. And if you guys want to run it one more time, I'll run it one more time. So don't get it twisted. Don't think you got to tell me we'll do it tomorrow. Okay, tell me what y'all think. I'm good. Run it. Clearly it's 1 a.m. here. Yeah. Hit us with that. Okay. Perfect. So we're going to run it one more time. Here's what we're going to do that's different, though. Okay. We're going to aim. Yes. We're going to aim for 6 minutes. But it's going to be. We're going to aim for 6 minutes. Let's see. So I'm thinking. No, I told you guys I'm going to think out loud. So let me think out loud. I'm still a little bit worried about shooting for 6 minutes because you don't want to undershoot. But again, but we are going to run it with no pauses for laughs. The jokes have pauses for build up and stuff, so I'm going to do them like that, but I'm going to try to limit all of the pauses in between jokes and all the places where I kind of try to expect laughs, or we're going to try to do it blow for blow, bar for bar, joke after joke after joke. We're going to aim for 6 minutes. Oh, wait a minute. I've been doing my math wrong. If we aim for 6 minutes, that gives us 1 minute worth of laughs. That makes more sense to me. Yeah, that makes more sense to me. I don't know why I was thinking 6 and then 6:30, but that's because I said we want 6:30 worth of material. But I think we actually will feel more comfortable if we cut it down to 6 minutes worth of material with 1 minute's worth of laughter. Tomorrow we'll probably try to shoot for 6:30 because 6 feels a little light, but I do feel like if we did hit 6, if I started to get close to 6, I would feel it and I'd get that minute light, and then I would know how to properly adjust, right? Because for me, I actually pretty much know that last joke needs to not happen until that light. Once that light hits, that's when we go in to grab somebody. So, yeah, for us, we're running it for tightnicity. I just finished editing a clip. I'm listening now. Thank you, Chase. 6:20. Yeah, that's the other thing, too. Why am I operating like you can't move the time around? I'm acting like you can either do 6 or 6:30. Bro, we could shoot for 6:20. We could shoot for 6:15. What am I doing? Let's see. That last minute, bring the heat. You're absolutely right. And now, do me a favor and clarify. Do you mean that last minute is really good, or that? Because if so, I appreciate the compliment. But you're also correct. That last minute got to be done. Is very important. And plus, to me, grab somebody is great for the same reason that the Juneteenth stuff is. It's so big, so expressive. But grab somebody is great because it also shows my singing ability, which shows, oh, this person got range. All the people I've seen watch the World Series of Comedy clearly have range. They're acting, but they're doing act outs and sounds. Right? That's Kenny Mock, who is probably the greatest comedian I feel like I've ever seen in person. And then Cody Woods, who won 2024. Didn't do any singing, but he did voices and he did sound effects. He did one of the coolest things I've ever seen, where he was talking about a tornado and he takes the mic and goes, ah, 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 ah. I was like, this is genius. There's a point where he's acting like a tornado is kicking over trailers, and he's doing that, which as a theater kid, a theater nerd, I immediately knew what he was doing. He's hitting himself with the mic as he's kicking trailers over. And again, what, math for us, magic for them. As a samurai, I was able to go, how is he doing that? And then figure it out. That audience got no idea. The audience sees you kick something. Oh, what the heck? Cody Woods was a beast. He probably didn't have no business being there because he was incredible. You know what I mean? No shade to anybody, but he was eating. The minute I saw him, I was like, oh, well, he's getting first place. Who's second and third? Third place was Dietrich, who's one of, if not my favorite comedians here, because I like Dietrich because he does material that I wish I was doing. But we're going to talk about him a different time. Here we go. Okay. We're all going to run this one more time. What's up, Ty? Oh, whatever. Leave the L's. Like my stream a little bit. Okay, we only got one person watching on TikTok. That's fine. Don't know how many people are watching on Twitch. Chase, if you get a minute, if you can check, I'd appreciate it. Let me text my lady. We'll just let her know that I'm going to get off in about 15. Okay. Here we go. I didn't leave. Don't go nowhere. I'm not on Twitch. I'm just on Instagram. Thank you, sir. No prob. No prob. Okay. I don't know if Reese is still here, but we're going to act like he is. Oh, I'm getting my book all oily. Lord have mercy. At least it's on the cover. I'll wipe that off. It's my hair. That's why. Alrighty. Okay. We're going to run this one more time. We're aiming for 6 minutes, bar for bar. What are we going to change? We're going to open it the same way. Here's what I'm thinking. Let me think out loud. I am thinking that we might take out where the weed at. I don't think so. That one's pretty good. And I think it sets up the connection between my hair and people making assumptions about me. Off the record, I do think that joke needs more around it because to me, the Juneteenth thing, it's like, oh, this lady assumes she's going to have a doctoral, thesis about racism from me. But she's correct, And I'm not going to overthink that because that's probably something better for if I'm doing a longer set where I can actually explain that, which sucks because she's right, Maybe that's a good extra joke to throw in there. Maybe I said and I also, all that stuff I said before the Frederick Douglass line, I'm going to try to get rid of. Because all I need to say is people make assumptions when they see my look. This one dude was like, hey, where the weed at, bro? I was like, dude, leave me alone. This is church. I don't know what you're doing down here, Pastor. Get back on stage. And I can change the wording of that. Just because my look screams, oh! Wait a minute. I think we found it. I don't think that needs an explanation. After I do that joke, after I do the where the weed at, I don't think it needs any explanation. I think I can just go right into, just because my look screams young Frederick Douglass, this lady said, I don't understand why we have to blah, 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 blah. And there's also a thing there too. This is comedy technique thing. I need to make sure that I paint that lady up as an annoying Karen. Because if you don't, it's a thing where it's like, well, she just didn't understand why. And if I'm saying all this about that, that makes me the jerk. But I'm not going to overthink that, because I think the way that I do the jerk does a pretty good job of conveying that. You know what I did do that I didn't plan on, was the Toyotathon joke. That one I wasn't gonna throw in there, but I did as I was feeling myself, so I threw that one in there. Plus, I think it helps break up all that explanation about Juneteenth that definitely can be shortened. Dietrich told me that I let the words get in the way of the joke, and Chase, you told me that too, something similar, right? I over-explain things. I think you said it's because I don't trust my audience that they'll get it, and I think that's a good point. I think that's a good joke that requires that. If I felt like the audience knew what Juneteenth was about, then I wouldn't explain all that. But I think without giving that little bit of detail, the rest of this might not connect well. I could be wrong, right? I could be wrong, but I still think that is an accurate assumption for that joke, at least. But we have to figure out the fastest way to explain what Juneteenth is and where I'm going with this joke. But here we go. We're gonna run it one more time, and right before we do, LOL. Okay. Right before we do, what are we doing? That's correct. We're gonna open it the same way. Yeah, another thing is ice cream. Ice cream machine we could have cut, but I don't think that'd be a good idea. I think ice cream machine is really, really good. And that's a joke that almost never flops. Because that's a thing everybody knows about, the ice cream machine not working. And how silly is it that the guy that's making it work every day got fired? Like, I think that joke makes sense. How crazy is it to get fired when you're good at your job? Because you're good at your job. So we're gonna do that stuff. We're gonna open it the same, ending with ice cream. Oh, and please stick with me. I know I keep doing this where I break thought to say something, but it's because when I'm going down here, I'm finding things. You know what I also did? Oh, damn it, I just had it. Ice cream machine. Oh, I said all that stuff about before you love anyone else, you gotta love who? Yourself. That's right. I started my self-love journey. I made all that too long. That's how I do it in a packed room with an attentive audience. 7 minutes? Nope. That all goes out. Especially for a 7-minute set, you want to limit the amount of times. Well, you don't want to ask any questions. Not in a 7. Not in a 10. Because that's wasting time waiting for the audience to react. And this is something, Joe, I've learned from the World Series of Comedy. Don't ask questions, because you're going to do your joke anyway. If you say, man, who likes cats? And if everybody goes boo, you're going to do a different joke? No, and you shouldn't. So don't ask questions. You're going to do your material anyway, right? Let's see. What did Chase say? He said a lot. We know Juneteenth, the day we told the slaves they good now. Yeah, you try to add more context than is needed. You should have safety lines if people don't understand after the fact, to let them click if they don't get it. We know Juneteenth, the day we told the slaves they good now. I can read this off of here. Juneteenth was like the fox and the hound. When she just dropped it off in the forest, let it be free. I'm not gonna lie, that last line isn't getting to me, and maybe it's because I haven't drank enough water. It's not clicking. That sounds like it's supposed to be funny, but I'm blanking. I'm not getting the joke there. But I totally understand what you're saying, and you're absolutely right. We know Juneteenth. And that's where we're losing a lot of time, is the explaining what Juneteenth is. But if I don't, none of the stuff going forward, I think, connects. And I might be wrong. Because let's be honest, the white slavery thing needs no explanation. If we enslaved white people, makes perfect sense. So that doesn't need any explanation. The Juneteenth jokes would. But if you don't know what Juneteenth is, this is why I have to go in the lab with this. And I promise we are going to run it again before I go. But this is why you do this. Because what did we say? It's supposed to be math for us, magic for them. I'm going to have to think about that. First of all, what is the quickest way to explain what Juneteenth is in a way that needs to be known for that joke to function? And we have to find the fastest way to do that. To me, the only way to do that, or not the only, but the best way to do that is to take that joke and put it in a, and we're probably going to have to squeeze it. I'm probably going to have to take that joke and try to get it to a minute. That always helps me really cut down wording. Oh, even what I said about me and my girl been together for 6 years, and it taught me something. I used to say so much bull crap, and then when I was getting ready for Little Rock, Arkansas, that hit me. I was like, I don't need to say any of that. I don't need to say any of the stuff that I said. And this is what's so funny. Once you upgrade material, it becomes hard to remember how you used to do it. My Baghdad joke, I used to do it a completely different way. But after people were telling me you should change that to Baghdaddy, and I beefed with that for a while because I really liked that joke. But once I realized, oh, doing it this way is better, I forgot how I used to do it. Hold on, let me see what Chase said. Did he say something? Bro, real quick, just say what your explanation of Juneteenth is in the joke, and I'll chop it up right now. Okay. Thank you, Chase. I appreciate that. Here we go. Everybody else don't leave because we are going to run it. We are going to run this. Oh, he said, literally just say, you good, LOL. It's not, LOL. It's not, it's sad moment in my own childhood. Okay. Just literally say, y'all know Juneteenth. If you don't, you're racist. And that's okay. Okay. I think that's good. But I think you got to be careful insinuating that groups are racist. Because white people don't like that. That's their N-word. That's a great joke right there, too. If that hasn't been done, that's crazy. If not, me gonna do it. That racist is white people's N-word. And I remember thinking that years ago because my theater teacher had somebody call her racist. And it destroyed her. And she wasn't, of course. But then again, it's just like I say with it, that's how the N-word works. You know what I mean? And I just remember thinking, yo, y'all, the N-word hit the R-word? Oh my God. Chase, we might be on to something. Dude, the racist is white people's N-word. Because not only does it offend them incredibly bad, get a huge emotional reaction out of them, but then there's also people who shout it, who act like, yeah, that is what I am. You know what I mean? Oh my God, there's something really good there. Wow, because you would literally get white people going, what's up, my racist? Oh my God. Oh man. Ooh, that's good. Racist is white people's N-word. We'll talk about this another time, but Jerry Corley talks about something called the listing technique, where you literally take two topics and you just list the things about them. That is exactly what we would do to make that joke work. You would list out things about the N-word, you would list out things about the word racist, and then you connect them. That's exactly how you write that joke. I've never done that before, and if enough of you guys want me to, we'll probably, one of these days, we'll probably try to sit down and do that together. Because I need the practice with doing stuff like the listing technique, so it would help me out too. Oh, but you see what I'm saying about jokes getting rizzed out? That's where most of my jokes come from. Concept, I play with it, and then I go, wait a minute, something's there, right? And then it becomes difficult to apply the math to it. But that's why we're doing this. That's why we're practicing. Okay. Yeah, you can do that. Sounds good. It would hit. Oh, I don't want to get distracted, but I do want to say this too. This is I do get nervous about streaming because I don't want concepts for jokes to get stolen, especially before I've written them. But I'll throw this one out there too. I do have a concept for a joke I want to work on, which is that white people think racism isn't real, but they believe in Sasquatch. Similar thing. You take the things about racism and Sasquatch and you list them out. You know, because that to me I think is another joke that really, really hits. But in my experience, you do have to be careful with how many race things you do, because I've noticed if I say white and black too much in a set, I start to lose an audience that isn't mixed. By the way, I think that is actually mostly, older white audiences. They get uncomfortable if you do too many black jokes, and too many black or white jokes back to back to back, because they don't like it when it's your whole set, and that's because it makes them uncomfortable. Anyway, I love that comparison. Thank you. This is why writing to me is important, because this is I can't speak for other people, but this is a whirlwind of gold. I just have to learn how to mine it. Okay, so before we run it one more time, I'm taking too damn long. Before we run it one more time, excuse me, I'm gonna do the setup for Juneteenth, so Chase can help me cut it up. So I do the jokes about my hair, which, by the way, I think I said this earlier, but I recently realized, I can make them fit my hair. I just remembered that I said that, so I'm not going to spend time describing that because I know I already did like an hour ago. So here's how I talk about Juneteenth. Now, this is how I just did it. Whatever, okay. It's weird. Okay, hold on. It is weird when you have a unique look because people make assumptions based off what they see with you. Like, just because my look screams young Frederick Douglass, this lady told me, I don't understand why we have to celebrate Juneteenth now for some reason. Right? Which is ridiculous to me, man. Juneteenth celebrates the end of chattel slavery. If any country in the world should be celebrating that, it's the freest country in the world. Also, we've had Toyotathon since 1976. But if you ask me, Juneteenth is the only holiday with a good reason. Okay, I don't got to do the whole joke, but that's what I'm going for. That's also not how I do it all the time. That is a little sped up, but it's still too long. Let me know what you think about that, but I'm going to run this one more time so we can get out of here. I love that comparison. Thank you, dude. I absolutely love that concept. The reason why I like those jokes too is because it's a little bit more of me conveying the type of person that I am. That's material that I want to be doing. That's material that I want to be doing. Stuff that's poking fun and poking holes and racism and racist perspectives and all that stuff. But anyway, here we go. Let's run this one more time. Remember. Hey, what's happening? I see you just got in here dry. We just running my set. You got here at the perfect time. I have 5 people in here? Okay, I didn't know we got 5 people in here, guys, for Instagram. I don't know how many I have anywhere else. 5 watching. Uh-oh! I got 5 people watching on YouTube and 5 on Instagram. I can't see how many are on Twitch. And TikTok seems to be 1. Certified back something. They're not showing me your full name, King. Like my thing. We'll get it to 175. Okay. Here we go. Twitch and Instagram. Dry, don't leave if you're still here because we're about to run my set. You got here at the perfect time. But you're absolutely right. We need to get going. Reese is here, you guys. Oh, somebody left. That set was 47 seconds. Wait, what? The explanation I just did was 47 seconds? Oh my God, that's so bad. 47 seconds. That's a lot of time for that. And that was sped up. Hold on, guys. Let's see what Chase said. I heard I look like young Frederick Douglass, and someone said, I don't know why we need to celebrate Juneteenth. Because it's America. Okay. Now, what you're writing, is that what you're saying it should be said as, Chase? I heard I look like young Frederick Douglass, and someone said, I don't know why we need to celebrate Juneteenth. Oh my God. This is what I'm talking about. Because just from reading what Chase wrote, I just realized, why am I saying we have to celebrate it now for some reason? Why am I using all those words? It doesn't need any of those words. I don't understand. I don't get, and that's a faster way to say that, I don't get why we have to celebrate Juneteenth. It means the exact same thing as, I don't understand why we have to celebrate Juneteenth now for some reason. Why am I saying all that? 47 seconds is ridiculous. I believe you, but that's unbelievable. Is what 47 seconds on that? 47 seconds is literally another hitter. I'm going to work on timing out more of my jokes, but we can throw a joke in there. If we cut that down, 47 seconds to have not even done the jokes is crazy. Okay. But guess what? That's good news, because that means that's a lot that we can cut. We probably can get to 620, all jokes, and this is what it takes to clean them. In comedy, there's a term called trim the fat, and that's exactly what that is. And a lot of times, you have a hard time seeing what the fat is. You know? Because the way that I do my jokes, it's hard for me to see the fat sometimes. Someone else comes in, and then immediately I go, wait a minute, what? Okay, let's see. Okay, we got 4 people. Yeah, I'm timing each joke. Yeah, but it's a bit long, but the jump is a little short. I don't know what you mean by that. Thank you for timing each joke, by the way. That's hard for me to do because I'm running them. So it's hard for me to time each joke. I'm probably going to have to go back and watch some of my sets when I've done each of the jokes at their best. You know, that's when I should time it. That's going to take a lot of freaking time. Here we go. Alrighty. We're gonna run this one more time before I get broken up with. I'll be waiting. Don't worry, guys. Don't leave. Okay, here we go. Sorry, don't leave. We're getting right back to it. Okay, how many we got? We got 3. Okay, we're losing people. With Chase's idea, I feel like the comment of what you look like immediately jumping into why do we have to celebrate Juneteenth seems a little. What's the connection? That's absolutely right. And that's where we apply Riz. You know, that's where we apply swag. Writing is so much fun. It's you putting the puzzle together and the puzzle gets bigger. Sorry, I didn't see you say that. That was a while ago, Miss Quota. Thank you for saying that. I didn't see that one. I should have reacted to it. In the future, I'm going to work on getting all my chats in one place. The jump off, oh, that's what you meant? But yeah, I do think that is a little short between the point and that, but I think that in practice, that gets smoothed. That's also why I think the we joke is important, because it clearly sets up, it's another example of people making assumptions based off my look, which makes the connection between me, Frederick Douglass, and the Juneteenth thing faster. But there's some perfect wording for that, though. We'll find it. We're going to find it. Okay. Okay. I think I'm staining this because my hands are oily. Which is funny. Y'all can't see it. It's a green screen. But let me look at my camera. I got to make sure I'm not off too bad. Oh, let me just use my OBS for that. Okay. Am I in the middle? This hand is off. Is this hand off? Hold on. Oh, I'm also looking at the wrong one. Let's close that. Let's close that. What am I looking at on Instagram? Oh, this isn't good. Oh, well, the framing on Instagram is pretty bad. Because on my main channels, I'm like right in the middle. This is the middle for both. Okay. Here we go. Okay. I gotta try and keep my middle. But again, the point isn't just being framed. The point is to run material. Give them crazy eyes when you say Toyotathon. Good idea. And I've been playing more with that too. That does a lot. Give them crazy eyes when you say Toyotathon. You're right. Oh! Knocked the water bottle down, but it's empty, so it doesn't matter. Okay. We're in the middle. Excuse me. Also, just a heads up, more than likely, I'm going to run this, and I'm going to try to dip out right after, because I got to call my lady before she goes to bed, and I got to drink water. I'm over here sweating up here with my room with these lights on. So, I'll yap a little bit, but once we finish this, I am going to try to get out of here. Alrighty. Also, and I'm just reminding me and reminding you guys, this time we're trying to go joke for joke, bar for bar, without trying to pause for laughs. The goal is that we want 6 minutes. We want somewhere between 6 minutes and 6 minutes and 30 seconds of raw jokes. If we're talking raw jokes, bar for bar, 6 is okay. Because again, we would want to have at least up to a minute of laughter. So the goal is to have 6 minutes, and I've got 6 minutes on my watch. I should be finishing that last joke at that buzzer. Typically, I start to get nervous when the time starts to run out, so my pacing will shift. So we'll keep that in mind, okay? But the goal is to have 6 minutes of raw jokes. Okay, here we go. Anybody saying anything? I'll send the time after. Thank you. Oh, by the way, the Toyotathon, I wasn't supposed to do that joke the first time we ran it, but I actually think that it's a good one because it comes right off that explanation, then we get hit with a funny joke. I also think Toyotathon is good because it highlights, it's a good, fast joke that highlights how silly some of our holidays are. People are like, blah, 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 Juneteenth, but we got Toyotathon, and I think that's very important. So I actually think I should do that one. How long have I been streaming? 2 hours. Okay. Okay. We're locking in. We're locking in. We're locking in. Okay, here we go.
3, 2, 1.
Hey everybody, my name's Hannibal Callens, and right now I am in love. Thank you. I'm surprised too, because who's falling in love with Steve Urkel after he joins the Black Panther Party? I'm the only brother right between did I do that and the white man did that. But I will say, man, I'm glad I'm in a relationship. Me and my lady been together for 6 years, and it taught me something. Being in a relationship is just like buying a house. If you didn't do it in 2008, it's too late. Because you can't even get good advice anymore, man. I had a woman tell me, whatever you do, don't date a woman that makes more money than you do. Craziest thing I've ever heard from somebody on food stamps. But I did find out, before you love anyone else, you gotta shoot. I messed that up bad, you guys. Hold on. Wait a minute. Stop. Bam. I messed that up bad. My favorite set of holidays to make fun of. Okay, let's reset, because I messed that up really bad. Where did I mess up? I was about to do my glasses joke instead of unemployed. And I skipped over half of those love life jokes. We're going to try to run it one more time, but if I fumble again, it's because I'm going for too long. And I'm wearing myself out. So we're going to try to run it one more time, see how it goes, and if I fumble, we're going to call it a night. Okay? We're going to try to call it a night anyway, but I am realizing I'm pushing myself too hard. For me to never write my material like this was too long. Which I will say right now, because I can actually feel it if I think about it. I do feel tired. But I will say real quick, I really appreciate each and every one of you that's hopped in here. Even if you hopped in and left, I really appreciate it. This is really nerve-wracking for me, and I think I spent the first 30 minutes not even. So you guys taking time to join me here, I really appreciate. This has also been one of the most successful things I feel like I've done with my streaming. I don't think I've ever gotten this much people watching on Twitch or Instagram or TikTok. So that's not lost on me. I'm gonna try to bring you guys a lot more of this, because I really appreciate the support that you guys are giving me for it. I hope you guys are learning a lot too, because my big thing is I want to bring value to you. A little bit of that inside baseball on how comedy works, but I also want, and I promise we're gonna run it again, but I want the people that have been a part of my growth to one day be able to have these memories as I'm super big and I'm claiming that I don't know you guys. Like, I want y'all to be like, man, I was on there when he was running streams and writing material. And I also think that I want you guys to be able to feel that. I want other people to be able to experience the difference between what Hannibal was doing and then what he starts to do, and be like, oh yeah, this is when he hit the freaking gas. Anyway, we're going to try to run it one more time, and if not, I'm going to respect my body, and we're going to go to bed. Okay? What's happening? Mount Runnels, I'm glad that you're here. This is crazy. I've had 3 to 5 people in here at all times on Instagram, which is nuts. I don't think I've ever had this many people on here. I don't think I've ever had that many people on the whole time. Okay. Look at the texture on my hair. God, look good. I gotta take better care of it though. Okay, here we go. Again, we're gonna run this one more time, and we're gonna call it a night. Yeah, I can feel it. I'm doing too much right now, because I've been going straight for 2 hours, and I'm trying to do this all fast. But here we go. I'm going to try to pause. I'm going to try not to pause for the laughs, but I am going to try to take it slow so I can actually execute the jokes properly. Okay. Plus, what sucks is the way that a lot of my material's written. If I skip something, it's really hard to go back. That's why I have to find the right timing. Because if I end up going, if I skip my hair jokes and I get to my love life stuff, and I haven't, and I skip stuff, it's not going to make narrative sense to go back to talk more about my hair, which is why I have to do all of it before I bounce. I got to do all the stuff I was going to do before I shift topics. I do have some jokes that I can do as fallbacks at the end, but the timing of those is tough. Anyway, I'm about to sleep good tonight, yo. We're running it one more time. I'm pretty sure Reese is still here. Ooh, we got some people hopping in on the TikTok. Hey, if you guys are here, oh no, I guess not. Anyway, but anyone that's here on the TikTok, don't worry. We're gonna get to it. We're gonna run it one more time, right now. Okay. Hey everybody, my name's Hannibal Callens. I just turned 30 and right now I am in love. Thank you. I'm surprised too. Cause who's falling in love with Steve Urkel after he joins the Black Panther Party? I'm the only brother between did I do that and the white man did that. I will tell you guys, I'm glad. Me and my lady been together for 6 years, and it's taught me something. Being in a relationship is just like buying a house. If you didn't do it in 2008, it's too late. Because you can't even get good advice anymore, man. I had a dude tell me, don't date a woman that makes more money than you do. Right? Craziest thing I've ever heard from somebody on food stamps. Tell you what though, sometimes people break up with you, but you end up growing from it. Man, I had my ex-girlfriend, she broke up with me. She said it's because I'm the type of man you get married to. Anybody ever lost their job because you were good at it? I've never met someone who said, yo, McDonald's had to fire me. I had the ice cream machine working every day. Right? I'll tell you what though, I found out the secret to love was that before you love anyone else, you have to love yourself. So I started growing out my hair, immediately realized people stopped knowing how to talk to me. I had a dude get way too close and go, hey man, hey bro, where's the weed at, bro? I was like, dude, leave me alone. This is church. And I don't know what you're doing down here, Pastor. Get back on stage. Even though people make assumptions about my look, just because my look screams young Frederick Douglass, a lady told me, I don't know why we have to celebrate Juneteenth, which is ridiculous. It's one of the only holidays that makes good sense. I mean, we've had Toyotathon since 1976. I'll be honest, I think Juneteenth is the only holiday that has a good reason, right? We have a holiday about a rabbit laying chocolate eggs. We have a holiday about a magical man who busts in your house and leaves you presents he had made with immigrant labor. Mardi Gras is just titties, that entire holiday. That holiday is people going, okay guys, tomorrow we celebrate the Lord. So today, show me your titties, I'll throw you some plastic beads. Like if we let MTV make a holiday, that's it right there. Man, but I think people get uncomfortable with stuff like Juneteenth because they think that if black people gain power, we'll enslave everyone else. But that is not true. At least the other black people haven't told me that yet. But honestly, that's not going to happen because slavery is wrong. It doesn't matter who's doing it, and it doesn't matter who they're doing it to. Also, if we enslaved white people, it wouldn't be as good. I mean, the amount of sunscreen alone, you're losing your profits. Hey, with climate change, you couldn't have anybody working out in the field. You'd have to have them all in the house day trading. Buy, boy. Sell, boy. Pick my NFTs. Tanner, it's not the same. Honestly, I think the worst part would be the music. Right? Because my ancestors made bangers like wading in the water. I couldn't imagine working to wake me up before you go, go. Don't leave me hanging on like a yo-yo. Wake me up. Man. I will say though, dude, and I like my hair like this because, let's be honest, with an afro this big and glasses this thick, no matter the crime, I do not match the description. Like, let's be honest, this isn't the look of a dangerous Negro. This a disco Negro. No one's leaving the club tonight and getting robbed like, ha! Hands in the air, jive turkeys. It's not happening. Tell you what, now that I'm in love, I don't even like love songs anymore, man. The lyrics are ridiculous. Bruno Mars has a song where he says, I'll catch a grenade for you. Huh? Like, I'm the only man I know too afraid to walk himself to the car at night. Like, if you see me walking anywhere past 6:45 p.m., you need to know I carry a pocket full of peanuts. Because if somebody is going to try to rob me, I pray to God he has an allergy. Give me all your money, fool. What? Like, come on, man. If me and my lady go to the park and someone throws a grenade at us, on the off chance that on that day I think I'm Serena Williams and I hit it back, someone with the audacity to bring one grenade to the park probably has the future planning to bring two. So if I have to catch a grenade for us, we're both dead. Worst example, Pitbull has a song where he goes, grab somebody sexy, tell them, hey, give me everything tonight. For all we know, we might not get tomorrow. Let's do this tonight. Yo, I heard that song and I was like, hey, Pitbull, if I follow your instructions, damn. Okay. Cool. Okay. Interesting. Something else has to get cut. That was almost perfect. Actually, let's see. That's going to have to take some thought. Because what the problem was there, I did end up re-saying something. Because I wasn't used to changing, how I get into the Juneteenth holiday jokes. And my brain kind of got caught. So I ended up saying the same thing twice to say it the way that I normally do. That probably would have saved me 10 to 15 seconds. Which still wouldn't be enough for that joke on the end. Something else probably has to get cut. You know what sucks? It might have to be weed. I think that's a really funny joke. Oh, but you know what else I did? I did the rest of the hair jokes. Well, I did some of them. I did an edited version of the hair jokes. And that's definitely why the time came out the way that it did. And I'm about to check the chats to see what you guys were saying, but those are my initial notes. That happened too because I could feel it. I could feel that as I was editing. I just realized we did all that in 6 minutes. 6 minutes of raw material. That's perfect. I would have ended, and that was halfway through that joke. Literally coming up on the end part, which can be sped up, you know? So now that I think about it, that was superb. That was superb. Because if I was on stage and doing that timing, I would have ended that set probably right at 7, right as that last joke hits. Which means that audience would be dying as I go. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Hannibal Collins. Y'all been great. Peace. I'm leaving that audience raging after me. That was perfect. Damn near perfect. Even better because I had some wording issues that we can work on. Oops. Even better because I had some wording issues that'll be easy fixes. Important fixes, but they won't be that difficult. Okay. Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. When I heard that song, I was like, hey, Pitbull could easily be cut to, what? I heard grab somebody. You're absolutely right. 604. Okay, we got 604, which again, now that we go back on it and we think that's actually really good, because that's not when I would have needed to stop. That's joke for joke, bar for bar, which means I have a whole minute, and that actually probably comes out to that material word for word, bar for bar would have probably came out to 6:30 like I originally anticipated, or like I was originally aiming for, which means we would have had 30 seconds that could just be laughter. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay, let's see what Chase had to say. That's what I mean by you tend to say implied information. You're absolutely right, Chase. You're absolutely right. Yeah, it was faster but didn't feel as cramped as the first run. Bill felt like there was more content somehow this run. You know why that is? It's because I did the other hair jokes. After I did Juneteenth, I did the hair jokes, and I believe those got to be there. I really believe those got to be there because there's so much good in there. The description, I do not match the description. I have to work on the wording. The hard part was that I was freestyling that. How do I get to this joke after this joke? Normally I get to those jokes with other jokes in between them. So it's like, how do I go from this straight to this, straight to this, straight to this? But I think those, and that's actually a really important thing that you said there. It felt like there was more. That's really important. You want people to feel like you did a lot, but you don't want it to feel cramped. And see, I'm tired from running this so much. Imagine that on fleek brain. Imagine that with my brain on max capacity. On fleek? Sheesh. Jerry, stop trying to make black people leave the country. How are you not headlining internationally? That's funny. That's a secret ICE agent. So yeah, we trying to deport them, but we trying to give them jobs other places to get them out of here. We're not doing the whole step on their neck, right? I love this. Stop trying to get black people to leave. Yeah, it worked better for me. Perfect. This is really good. And I think the only reason I didn't initially see that is because I'm so tired. But that's actually really, really good. That's what I wanted. In fact, I'm going to say this, then we're going to leave, but I realized that last time was actually what I wanted. Remember what I said up top? I wanted my single jokes. I wanted to do weed. I wanted to do my Juneteenth and white slavery. Then I wanted to go into those love life, the love song jokes. And I did them both. What we just did was the perfect 7. By my opinion. You know, this is what's crazy about cutting your material down, because now when you think about it, do you know the amount of hot material we just cut out? Which means if somebody wanted to see me do that set again, I could do that same set and throw the other things in there, and they would feel like they got a whole different show. they would get my joke about glasses. I did the unemployed joke. Oh, that was another place where I messed up because I mixed my setups. I said a woman, but this woman told me was supposed to tell me about glasses, not about not dating a woman that makes more than you. Wow, we did it. We actually did it, which is crazy because we said that up top. We said up top that we wanted that, and then we actually ended up getting it by the end. I have to go to bed, but you are so on track. You got this. It's all about wording. Have a good night. Thank you. I appreciate that. We're going through these messages one last time. Alex and Raporia 3, thank you for being here. Oh, but he left. They left, actually, I don't know. Let's get this up to 200 likes on TikTok. That'll look good. Perfect. Says I got 2 people watching on TikTok. I don't know who you are, but thank you. But one of them is me, I'm sure. Nobody said anything on Twitch. That's fine. If somebody watch, I appreciate it. Just trimming the fat. If you want, I can go through your set with a red pen if you call me one day with a tape. See, I need to say yes to that and take you up on that. But again, it's the feeling like that's doing too much. It's feeling like you want comedy to be organic, you know. But that is exactly what it takes. I'm gonna think about that and I'm gonna get back to you. I'm too tired to say yes or no. It's 11:03. My lady gonna be mad. Call her. Let's check the YouTube. I'm not big on YouTube. Okay, so nobody said anything on YouTube. How many people watching? It says we got 2 people watching on YouTube. One of them isn't me. I don't know who the other person is. But you guys, you do you. You're absolutely right. You guys were great. Thank you so much for your help. Thanks for listening to all these stories that I told. I'm going to do my best to cut them up, or at least maybe try to do these stories much more in depth, try to do actual story times down the line. But this was great. This was very successful. I appreciate each and every one of you. Reese, thanks for hanging out so long like you did. Thank you for reaching out, being here and doing all that. That was really cool of you, Reese. You're him. Thank you guys. Have a great night. And I will see y'all tomorrow. Come back here. We're going to do this again early in the day, and I'm going to have water in my mic. It's all right. Peace. And stop and end recording and stop recording and stop streaming.